Okay, so let's begin with beneath the surface, pink dolphins. So, did you know there are pink dolphins? Yeah, in the South China Sea, there are pink dolphins. They've been there for hundreds of years, as far as we know. The first sighting of them was written about by the English colonists in the 1600s. So they have been around for quite some time. And the pink dolphins actually aren't pink, but when they're born, they're this dark gray color. And as calves, they're a dark gray, or they get lighter gray until eventually, as they mature, they become white. And in Chinese, we actually call them white dolphins. But they do turn this rosy hue when their blood rushes to the surface of their skin. They're not albino, they just have really pale skin as adults. And so then they become this pink rosy color when they get very excited. And it's so amazing to see them in the ocean, this contrast between the blue ocean and their light pink skin, just breaching out from the surface into the air and back down again. It's just an amazing treasure of Hong Kong. And unfortunately, we see less and less of these dolphins. They are endangered, critically endangered. There are less than 100 of them counted in the bay areas of Hong Kong and in the coastal region of southern China. We really want to raise awareness about these pink dolphins and try to help them and protect them as much as we can. So we're going to start first just by learning about them and learning how to talk about them in Chinese, starting with the word for dolphin. So dolphin in Chinese, we say hai cun. Yeah, so at the very top, you can see here, this is the word written in pinyin. So pinyin is a very important system to know when you're studying Chinese, especially as non-native speakers. We use pinyin to help us with pronunciation. So it's a romanized alphabet system that's been adapted to Chinese to help us pronounce Chinese as non-native speakers, but also native Chinese speakers use pinyin today in this digital world with keyboards everywhere. It's very easy and helpful to have a pinyin romanized system to type things in. So yeah, that's how we use pinyin for typing things into our keyboards and also for us learning how to pronounce Chinese words. So let's start with the beginning of hai cun, the beginning of this word for dolphin, with just this first part, hai. So we're going to talk about the tones. Pinyin, helps us learn the four main tones of Chinese. And today we're just going to talk about the second and third tone. I'll talk about the first and fourth later, but today, second and third tone, starting with the third tone, actually with hai. So the beginning of the word for dolphin, hai, H-A-I. You notice at the top of the A, there's this little, looks like a hat, right? This accent on top. It almost looks like a valley. That's how I remember it, going down and up. And that's what the third tone actually sounds like. It goes down and up, just like the accent we see here. So we pronounce that hai. Can you hear me go down and up? You can try it too. Hai. Hai. Feel free to pause this video and practice on your own, but that's the third tone, just like it looks in the accent, going down and up. Hai. All right, so we're going to move on to the second part of dolphin, and this part we pronounce with the second tone. So the second tone goes up, just like it looks. The accent goes, you can kind of see it going up kind of at an angle there. So tun, so hai, tun. Now the second tone, I always remember it because it's like asking a question in English. We also use the same intonation when we ask questions in English by kind of go up a little bit at the end, So can I do that? That's the second tone, that. So tun goes up. So when we put that together, we've got third tone plus second tone, and we pronounce dolphin, hai, tun, hai, tun. go ahead and keep practicing as much as you need to. Press pause. We'll do it together one more time. So, hai chun, dolphin. All right. And so now we're going to jump down to learning how to read Chinese characters. So here again, we have hai chun written out. So this first character here is hai. So that's this pronunciation here with third tone. So hai is this first character. And this actually means something on its own, which we're going to discuss in just a moment in more detail, but I'll tell you now. It means the sea. So hai is sea, the character for sea, like swimming in the sea, not the letter C. So hai is sea, and then when we put it together with this character, tun, it becomes this animal, dolphin. So hai tun. So it's like a compound word in English, right? Where you put two things together, it becomes a new thing. That's what a lot of Chinese words are, like compound words. So hai, we know when we see this word that, oh, it has something to do with water, with the sea, because it has hai in it. And then tun, this animal. And I'll tell you the clues about how we know animals a little bit later. But for now, we are going to practice the reading just through memorization. Now in Chinese, because it's not an alphabetic system, there's a lot of visualization and memorization that goes into reading. So what you actually do is you visualize and memorize huge chunks of text and words in Chinese. That's just the only way to do it. And fortunately, most people are strong visual learners, or at least, have a proclivity to visualization. So it's not as difficult as it sounds, actually, once you get really deep into the meaning of the characters and understand how to recognize the pictures, which we're going to do next when we learn how to write this character, hai, sea. So we're going to learn how to write the character for sea in just a moment. But for now, you might want to pause and just study memorizing what this looks like. Hai tun is dolphin. And that's just how we learn new words a lot of times, just through flashcards. And I'm going to send you a little link that goes along with this so you can study on your own as much as you like. So here we see the flashcard for sea, which in Chinese we say hai, right? Okay, so we are going to learn, and I'm just going to make it a bit bigger so you can see it better. Feel free to press pause and get some paper and pen or pencil if you want to follow along. So, okay, the first thing I'm going to teach you about this character is the radical. Radicals are symbols that we see often in Chinese that give us a hint or a clue about the meaning or the pronunciation of a word. So in this case, this is the radical that means water. So when you see these three pen strokes or brush strokes, if you're doing calligraphy, it always means water. So good old H2O. Yeah. And that is because if you look very carefully, this is the cool thing about Chinese because it's a pictorial language. So like if you look very closely at this character, you can see in the ancient text where this came from. And that was because they drew the lines like the river, the water flowing down the river. I don't know if you can kind of see. And somehow these three lines, they kind of shifted and shifted until finally they became what you see today, which is actually drawn like this. So this stroke order is very important. So the top one, and then this comes down. We always start from top to bottom and left to right. So yeah, so this is how we write the water radical, which is in Chinese we say 三点水, which just means the three strokes for water. So yeah, That's sandian, right? And when we see that, we always know, oh, okay, this is going to be a word about water or liquid. So that is the radical for water in the word for the sea. I, the sea. So, okay, now let's break apart the rest of this word. That's the cool part about Chinese is you can take it bit by bit and find out more about what this word really means. So, and where it comes from. So the next part we're going to take a look at is here. And that is actually, it is the symbol for a structure. I was taught to think of it as like a roof because it's always on top of something else. So when we see this, you can remember it means some sort of building or roof, or not the roof, just the roof, but actually the whole structure. So a home, a building, or a structure when you see this, something that's contained. And then underneath that, we have another word, which actually on its own means something. This is actually the word for mother. So this character on its own means mother. So we write that like this first for mother, and then we draw a line here. And then we make a stroke there, go across, and then again in here. And that is mu, which means mother. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So when you put all three of these things together, right, mother, house, and water, you get the sea. Hi. So yeah, water, house, mother, hi, the sea. So yeah, that's your Chinese writing lesson for today, and speaking and reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you get a chance, make sure to check out those flashcards, study up a bit, and get ready for next week. Feel free to message me with any questions you might have. All right, that's all. See you next time. Bye.